Everybody, we're now going to be looking at conversion religious experiences. So to convert means to change in form, character or function, to cause a person to change beliefs. So when considering conversion, you should think the reasons behind a conversion. Is it because God really exists and is prompting these individuals to convert, or is it because other reasons that can be explained scientifically, psychologically? It's one of those kind of things. So for example, St. Paul in the Bible, who converted, like we talked about last time, like on his way to Damascus, was stopped by Jesus, and obviously he converted. You know that story, you could just read that yourself, but you could read it. You could ask yourself, does that show that Jesus really exists? Because St. Paul was going to persecute Christians, was going to kill Christians, but he ended up converting into a Christian himself. Was he guilty? You could ask yourself that. Or is there another, explanation, a psychological explanation, or is it a physiological explanation? Like his eyesight, was there something wrong with his eyesight? Something that can be explained today. So those are the things you need to consider when thinking about conversion experiences. So when thinking about conversion religious experiences, you also have to think about Nicky Cruz. If you could read that, that's how this gangster changed into this religious person. Well, not religious, but he turned into a Christian and started believing in God, started preaching. So you can look at that. But then, yeah. So conversion is when individuals convert. It's a dramatic change in their lives. William James also says that the truth of a religious experience can be found in its results. So if we're saying conversion religious experiences exist, it can be found in the results. Some people change from bad to good. That's a good religious experience. So then it exists according to William James. So we also have to think about Edwin Starbuck, who also thought about, he said, when people are converting, like having these conversion religious experiences, it's normally around the age when they start to make life changes about themselves, like in adolescence, when they start to mature and everything, and then they say, okay, I'm converting, I've become a Christian, I was touched by God. But that's up to you to decide. You can argue from a psychological perspective, saying it's in the brain, your environmental surroundings, from a sociological perspective, you say it's this. Or you could argue that actually God does exist and is converting these people because they're being touched by some external force. So the problem with conversion religious experiences is, even though it can be tested according to its results, like somebody saying, I was, I don't know, a terrible alcoholic before, and now I'm okay, I don't drink too bad. Even though it's empirical evidence that that person has changed their ways, it still cannot be tested empirically to be fully true. You can't go around saying, hey, God exists because I have converted, because it's subjective, it's personal. We also have to see the thing that people feel that being influenced by a divine being, although they could be influenced by something social, like a social being. It's like somebody saying, okay, if you don't stop smoking, you're going to die. And then they say, I had a religious conversion, I had a religious experience, I converted my ways because God told me I was going to die because of my smoking habits. So it's up to you to decide whether this is enough evidence for God's existence. Thank you very much for listening to this video. Join me in my next video when we're going to be looking at corporate religious experiences. Thank you.